Hey y'all, Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living, and this is the beginning of a vibrant, thriving HolyDaze guide. And firstly, holidays, everybody's got a different feeling about it. So what is it to you? Like what are the holidays about for you? Is it celebration? Is it trauma? Is it survival? Is it busyness? Is it hideaway? And here's part of how I got here. Last week, I sent out a message to some of my peeps and talked about my sister having killed herself on Thanksgiving 29 years ago on her birthday. And we just passed Thanksgiving here in the US. And what I meant by that was to say thank you to her and to that event, because that's part of what sparked me to look inside, to grow, to heal, and to dedicate myself to helping others. And it took time, and I healed from that experience with her. And so it's not a sad day. And I'm realizing I didn't communicate well because I got a bunch of mails from people very kindly expressing sympathy. And part of what that led me to is saying, hey, here we come into the holidays, right? And this is a time that for a lot of people is challenging. I love the thing that Ram Dass, one of my friends and heroes, said, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family. Right? And for a lot of us, the holidays is stressful, challenging. So, tell you what, this goes even further back than 29 years ago. This is back to when I was about 3, right? We're 1972, Falmouth, Maine. And I love that this is in some way for me, a celebration to how far I've come, quite literally, because if you can see, it's a little hazy there in the background. I live on Maui now, and it's warm right now. And back in Falmouth, Maine, where I started from, it was really cold. So, sitting like this near the Christmas tree, me and my 4 siblings all scattered around on the sofa watching TV, right? Back when TV had a little antenna sticking up. And my mother was like hiding behind the partition of the wall, wrapping presents just a few days before Christmas. And my father was doing what he normally did at that point in his life, which was he was passed out in a chair sleeping. He had been watching TV, and then he fell asleep. And and again, this is not to elicit sympathy. This is just sharing with you something that happened, perhaps for a purpose. He drank a lot of alcohol. He was an alcoholic, and so he was passed out, right? Which for us as kids was great, because when he passed out, that meant that we could take the remote control. Now, of course, I was 3 years old, so it was my siblings doing the controlling at this point. In any case, right, this in my family, this was a pretty normal scene. And I'm not saying it's good or to be created, and yeah, it's good to be with what was. And so this is one of my favorite little pieces of my father suddenly wakes up and completely disoriented, who knows why, what got into his head, into his dream, into his sleep, and he wakes up like this. He goes, "What happened? Oh, what happened?" Right, and he stands up, and he, no kidding, can't make this up, rushes at the Christmas tree. And my father used to be quite an athlete, and he rushes at the Christmas tree like it was an intruder coming in to attack his family. And he literally tackles the Christmas tree. I'm not going to show you that part. Tackles it, falls down on the ground with it. Pieces of it break. A little piece cuts into his head. He's bleeding and laying there on the ground. My mother comes rushing in. All of us kids are sitting there on the sofa like, holy moly, right? And why am I telling you this? Right? Because you might be thinking, Daniel, that's not really funny. That's like sick. That's weird. Or you might be thinking, that's really funny, right? And hopefully you can feel in me, at this point, it's really funny. When I was 3 years old, it was not funny. And here's the thing. Our past no matter what happened, when we heal, right, when we come to a new place in our lives, which is possible for all of us, it's never too late for a happy childhood, right? Then the past becomes wisdom. It becomes amusement even. It becomes something we can be grateful for. And for me, honestly, I'm so grateful to my father, right? He brought me so much. I'm grateful for my sister's suicide. I'm grateful for the time I had with her, right? So, I hope it makes sense. I hope it's useful. And I would love to hear from you because I got inspired. I got excited. And I'm putting together my ultimate how to thrive into the HolyDaze time guide. And I would love your input. What is the holy day like for you? What are your greatest hopes? What are your greatest fears? What are your desires? What are the challenges that might come up? All right. Enough said for now. Y'all, I hope on this beginning of the HolyDaze season, you are feeling fantastic. I'm so grateful to you for being here with me, for tuning in, for being dedicated to vibrant living. See you soon.